you live.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Pat Cavlin here. Just with an update on the storms that we're seeing to the north of the city right now, and then the all-important Mother's Day forecast as we get you into tomorrow. So live look at radar just before 9 p.m. Quite the bit of activity here north of the city. You can see there's even more going on as you head north up towards Waco, and these storms have actually now started to move in our direction. So let's get in for a closer look up towards Polk and San Jacinto counties. A lot of lightning here up towards Lake Livingston, maybe even some small hail. I mean, we're talking pea-sized hail, but really just a big lightning producer. A lot of rain here too up towards the East Tex Freeway. All of these storms are starting to push off towards the east. That's going to be the trend here as we head through the next few hours. The city is dry for the moment. I don't see the city getting in on any of this activity, at least as it stands right now, but we'll keep an eye on things. I think a couple showers are starting to build down towards the Spring area, but this is pretty much the bulk of the energy now, again, moving off towards the east. We are expecting more storms, though, on a bigger scale as we get into the day tomorrow. And with that does come a low chance for some flooding, especially as you get into some of the areas where the ground is really saturated from last week's storm. And there's also the potential for a few stronger storms with hail being one of the primary threats. So there's your Mother's Day forecast. I think the first half of the day is probably going to be your best bet in terms of drier weather. There will be a couple of showers out there, but overall, the majority of the area starts dry. But as we get into the afternoon hours, that's when storms will become more likely, especially for areas north of the city. Coastal spots, I think, have the best chance tomorrow of staying dry. Maybe get a shower in the morning, but most of the day for the coastal spots looks good. Around the city, it's a little more iffy, but if I had to put a bet on it, I would say the city stays mainly dry through the course of the day, although around the midday, early afternoon hours, you could see a few storms. The best chance, the highest confidence where we're going to see heavy rain is well to the north of the city, unfortunately in areas, one, that are seeing rain tonight, but two, these are areas that are also recovering from flooding that we saw in the last 2 weeks. So we're talking up towards the Huntsville area, again, Polk, San Jacinto counties, parts of Liberty County as well, even into Montgomery County. Decent chance that we get some heavy rain and storms, but I do think that chance drops off once you get to the city and parts south. So if you're trying to plan your day tomorrow, I would still try to bet on an indoor plan, but it doesn't look like a washout, especially for the city of Houston. I think the best chance of a washout is going to be for that area up to the north. Here's why I think that. We look at future track here through the morning hours. Again, maybe the chance for a couple of showers, but all in all, it's not a widespread heavy rain until we get towards the afternoon. So 1 to 2 o'clock, coastal spots are dry, like I just showed you. And then it's the city going north that we could see downpours and thunderstorms. Again, especially in the areas that don't need any more rain. There's 1:30. There's 3:30. Notice how that line doesn't move. There's 5:30, still seeing rain over the same areas, but it looks like the city going to be on the line here, but should be on the drier side of things. And again, coastal spots definitely look a lot drier tomorrow than our areas going north of town. And then once we get to the overnight, that's when things should start to trend a little bit better. This is what the rain total swaths look like. Again, big area here north of town where we could see 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain in some of those heavier bands. So as a result, the National Weather Service has placed areas north of Harris County, going north, under a level 2 out of 4, a slight risk to see flash flooding. Now, the biggest risk actually extends as you go farther north of our area. This is where we're very confident we're going to see the biggest rain totals as we get into tomorrow. But remember, whatever falls up here has to travel down the rivers as we get into the following days. So if they get a lot of rain up north, Trinity River could swell again. And that's on top of the rain that we had about 2 weeks ago. So just keep that in the back of your mind. There is a low chance for some severe weather as we get to tomorrow, especially for the areas highlighted in yellow. So again, Walker, Polk, San Jacinto, but also Grimes County. It's a level 2 out of 5, 5 being the worst. This is where we could see maybe some gusty winds and maybe even some large hail. As always, a weak spin-up tornado, not out of the question, but it's not a primary threat. So that's Sunday's severe weather threat. Watch this. As we get into Monday, it goes for everyone. So now everyone is in a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. And where you see these black lines here off to the west, That shaded area is where we could see significant hail. So we're talking at least 2 inches in diameter. We could see even stronger damage and wind gusts. And the reason for that is because this is where the storms are going to be developing, and they are eventually going to track to the east. Now, as they move to the east, they could start to weaken. So this is where we see the best chance for significant storms, and then it becomes a little more iffy as we get into the city, but you got to be on your guard as we head into Monday. The good news, though, is that Monday does not look like a washout. In fact, most of the day is dry. There are the storms firing up, though, in the afternoon, and then by sunset, that's when they start to get to us here in southeast Texas. So here's your severe weather breakdown for both Sunday and Monday. The threats are the same. It's a damaging wind and hail threat in the low to medium categories. The tornado threat's not zero, but it is low. And then, of course, street flooding is the big thing that we will be keeping a very close eye on for Mother's Day for areas north of Harris County and north of I-10. That's how things stand tonight. Of course, if you're watching, if you're trying to make plans for tomorrow, err on the side of caution. Make the brunch plans for inside if you can. Make the dinner plans for indoors. Maybe not the best day for a barbecue, but all in all, we are talking about the threat for very heavy rain north of the city. The chances are a little more iffy in and around the city, and then south of town, I think, is the best chance of seeing dry weather for your Mother's Day. Bottom line, though, Mother's Day is not a washout, but we could see some heavier storms again once you get north of I-10. That's the latest forecast. We're going to have more coming up tonight on KHOU 11 News at 10 o'clock, and of course more as we go through the day tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there.